Salcedo Auctions proudly introduced its sale of Important Philippine Art on the 9th of March. This carefully curated group of paintings, drawings, prints, and sculptures represents the world's finest collection of Philippine art at auction, ranging from works by distinguished old masters and leading post-war modernists to some of the brightest lights in the country's vibrant contemporary art scene. A rare gem in this sale is Castilla 9 by Fernando Thobel. This work marks an important point in the artist's career when he begins to shift from the hypodermic needle abstraction of his celebrated Saita series, creating the painterly swaths inspired by Mark Rothko's color field technique, which would later evolve into the monochromes of his Serie Negra. Another highly notable work is Bodegon en Azul, a large 1963 oil-on canvas by Federico Aguilar Alcuaz. This stunning painting shows the artist's transformation of the bodegon, or still life, into its antithesis, a scene of frenzied movement where leaves and branches seem to transform into a rumble of wings and talons, evoking a flock of birds in flight. Jose Hoya's Two Faces of Villa Fernandina is a bird's eye view of a large tract of land, its rich primary color blocks straddling the energetic force of abstract expressionism and the detached stillness and cerebral quality of geometric abstraction. It is the largest work by the artist to come to auction in recent time. The glorious views and rich bounty of the Philippine countryside are very well represented in the works of Vicente Manansala and his protege, Ang Kyukok. Manansala's wondrous rendition of a rural landscape, possibly a view of his native Binangonan, combines folk romanticism's lyrical colors and archetypes with the artist's transparent cubism, where shapes are not simply fragmented for the sake of formalism, but rather rendered as sensuous facets that overlap, conveying the textures and rhythms of this idyllic environment. A rare and important early work of Ang Kyukok is this 1961 oil and encaustic on board, depicting bananas marked by a stark elegance and simplicity of form. The subject matter is surrounded by the subtle opacity of shadow planes and gradations of white, conveying a feeling of detachment and meditative serenity. The expressive power of the figure, harnessing historical allusion and metaphor, binds together the contemporary artworks in this sale. Alfredo Esquilio plays with the viewer's mind's eye in this thought-provoking depiction of three key historical figures representing the Spanish, American, and Japanese colonizers of the Philippines, mediating a tenuous piece which the artist sees is meant to fragment in the manner of the interwoven canvas rather than unite. Geraldine Javier's triptych Enraptured is an enigmatic work that brings together conceptualism, high technical skill, and craft. The three panels, beeswax on printed image, oil on canvas, and embroidery, represent significant periods in the development of Javier's artistic style, lending it a timeless quality. Two lots by the Ventura brothers, Olan and Ronald, are entered in this auction. This untitled painting of a clown is quintessential Olan Ventura, a reproduction of his subject as it would appear as a negative. The technical prowess of Ventura's creative process becomes even more evident when we photograph the same image and view it as a positive. Till the Morning Comes is a highly significant work by Ronald Ventura, being one of the earliest manifestations of the artist's alabaster rendering of anatomy and drapery. Two males are posed back-to-back in fetal positions, and a female is ensconced within heavy folds of fabric, each of them separated and kept inside tight enclosures. The irony of the scene, being painted on a door to symbolize public and private, openings, closings, comings and goings, lends a sense of poignancy to the ambiguous nature of their relationship. Of similar configuration is Looking Up by John Santos, where two women in seemingly incongruous poses are depicted like statues inside an undefined space, creating an air of mystery. The work is a meeting between the secular and the spiritual, a reference to the work by the Italian Renaissance master Piero della Francesca on church altarpieces. In riotous contrast is this acrylic on canvas by Louis Cordero. Cordero, one of the Philippines' most celebrated young artists, assaults viewers' sensibilities with his tour de force homage to the abject in art. Cordero was a recipient of the inaugural Ateneo Art Awards in 2004, and this work was shortlisted for the Ateneo in 2006. We end this preview with Santiago Bosse, who affirms his position as one of the country's preeminent contemporary masters with this mixed media work inspired by a vintage Philippine photograph featuring four flagellants walking towards an imaginary intramuros. The work mesmerizes with its dusky color palette and rich detail. The Latin words, arcane symbols, and Masonic emblems casting a magical spell on all those who behold it. We invite you to preview these and other works at our 3 Salcedo Place sale room starting the 23rd of February. The online catalog is available at salcedoauctions.com.